Welcome back to Grace to Endure. In this video, we're actually going to be talking to David, and he is going to talk to us about how you can serve. In other words, if you want to do service for other people, you need to find out what they need, and sometimes that's hard to do. There's plenty of people that have needs, but how do you connect with them, and how do you find out who has a need and how to best serve them? And Dave's going to help us with some tips on that.
One great thing, or one great way to practically do this is just ask a deacon or an elder, someone in your church who has contacts to a lot of people who regularly reach out for help, whether that be just lawn care, um, and in home services like lights being put out and needing replacement, painting a wall. Like, there's people in the church who should have contacts of people who regularly do need help. And that's what the church is here for. We're here to help serve others and to share the gospel in our service. So reach out to some deacon or elder, someone higher up, or someone who has a lot of contacts to people who might need help. And just growing your network in that area will give you more opportunities to serve and find out who needs service.
Yeah, and maybe a church secretary could also help. Also, if you call different organizations like hospitals, nursing homes, assisted living, you could help elderly people by just sitting with them and volunteering to do that for just a certain amount of time. You could then even give the gospel to them. So hopefully you could have some conversations with them once you get to know them and maybe be able to give them the gospel. So this is a way that you can do it. Another thing is I have actually heard of people who do go and sit with people in hospitals who are dying of cancer and they just don't have any family members, and they can read to them the Bible and actually spend time with them. And this is a great service and a huge need. So really just calling around and asking, and just don't give up just because in one place they don't need something. That doesn't mean that in the next place they won't. So don't give up and keep on persevering until you find something meaningful to serve in.
I have a great passage that I think you can really practically apply here, in the act of service. So it's Matthew chapter 6, verse 1 through 4. Beware of doing your righteousness before men to be noticed by them. Otherwise, you have no reward with your Father who is in heaven. Therefore, when you give to the poor, do not sound a trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, so that they may be glorified by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward in full. But when you give to the poor, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving will be in secret, and the Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. So what this means is when you're serving or helping or giving to others, you shouldn't highlight what you're doing for your own benefit. Meaning, when you're trying to ask to serve or when you're serving someone, don't flaunt your great works to them and to others. You shouldn't really tell more people than you have to, in this area, because again, that brings a certain level of status, in your mind
Some
or in
pride.
theirs, some
Yeah.
pride, maybe accidental, or intentional, but you should serve for the benefit of others. And oftentimes, talking about, oh, I serve this, I serve in that, or serve in that, it may be accidental, but sometimes can lead to pride. It's, you feel better about yourself about doing that. So just ensure to have a humble mindset about that. And again, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Meaning, do it out of genuine care, and really mean what you're doing. Do it out of love and self-sacrifice and humility.
You're doing it to benefit the other person, not
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.